guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about windy situations. So generally when speaking with wind on the disc golf course, there's a couple different types. Headwind, which is when the wind comes right at you. Tailwind, when the wind comes from behind you, and a crosswind, which can come from the left to right or right to left. So depending on the type of wind or where the wind's coming from, you want to use different type of disc with a different stability. So for headwinds, I usually use 3 discs depending on the how big the headwind is or how hard the wind's blowing. For a lighter headwind, more moderate headwind, I'll use a DX T-Bird, which it's slightly stable. Get it to flip it up, just ride a little bit to the right and come back. Pretty predictable. For a more moderate headwind, I like the Ape, Blizzard Ape. I have this one at 144 actually. And I can just put this out there flat and it'll be real predictable and just fade left. And for howling headwinds, I really like the Nova Firebird. It's not too fast of a disc, doesn't have much glide, so it won't really get carried up, get much air bounce in the wind. It's good because then it's much more controllable. And it has a lot of fade, so it'll just put it out there on hyzer line, it'll hold that hyzer line. Can even anhyzer this into a more moderate headwind for one, and throw it flat, just hyzers out real nicely. So crosswinds, I like to use a neutral disc pretty much. For left to right, I'm a righty. That'll turn your disc over a little bit, so I like to use the T-Bird. For most crosswinds, left to right, just throw it out there on a little bit of hyzer, it'll turn over, hold the turn for a little bit and come back. Real predictable. I might use something more overstable if it's really blowing, but generally I use a neutral to slightly overstable disc for that shot. And then for crosswinds right to left, a lot of people are confused with this because they think the right to left wind will blow their disc back towards the left. But really what happens is the disc, it pushes the nose down this way and the disc kind of just dives if it's anything kind of unstable. Because if you throw it out there on hyzer, it flips up, starts turning right. The wind just catches this and blows over the disc this way, and it just causes the disc to basically drop out of the air right. Then you'll have a tough tough second shot because you'll be in the rough right or the right. That's why I don't usually like to throw understable discs in the wind, except in a tailwind situation. But I like to use the T-Bird for crosswinds because it doesn't really get any turn. Throw it out there on a little hyzer, flips up to flat, gets a little bit of straightness and fades out real nicely. So I'll throw it over the right hand side of the rough on a little bit of hyzer and it'll fade right back into the middle of the fairway on open holes. And on more wooded holes, I'll just throw it dead flat and let it hyzer. So for tailwinds, what a tailwind does is it's coming from this way, from me towards the disc, and it flips the disc up. So the nose on the disc is up. And what that does is it makes the disc more overstable. You don't want to throw nose up because that'll lead to losing distance. But if you throw an understable disc in a tailwind, generally you can get a lot of distance out of it because if it's normally a turnover disc, it'll react like a disc that you get a nicely long S-curve on. So for tailwind situations, I like to use a 140-gram Starlight T-Bird. Or not T-Bird, Turn. It's real glidey, real understable. Doesn't get too much air bounce, but that's a little bit if I get uncontrollable with it. Just pop it out there on the hyzer. It'll get some nice turnover and come back. That's basically it. I'm gonna do another video on putting in the wind, and that'll show you some stuff for putting. So please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you'd like to see next.